At what point does the brand step in and go, right, we're opening a lawsuit against you because you've said that this brand fits this car and we're pricing it differently? Like, at what point does that happen? We don't know.
Matt Armstrong's journey from a passionate automotive enthusiast to a well-known industry influencer is nothing short of remarkable. But behind the rise lies a series of contentious moments that have divided fans and critics alike. How did someone so respected become a figure surrounded by controversy? This story reveals unexpected twists, including sharp criticisms and surprising public reactions that have tested Armstrong's resilience. Whether you admire him or question his methods, understanding both his achievements and disputes is essential to grasping his impact today. Early career breakthrough. Matt Armstrong's journey began with humble origins rooted in a deep passion for cars. Starting as an avid enthusiast, he quickly found ways to engage with the automotive community beyond just appreciation. Early on, Armstrong tapped into digital platforms where he could express his knowledge and opinions, carving out a space that combined enthusiasm with emerging online media trends. His initial content focused on car reviews, behind-the-scenes industry insights, and spirited discussions that resonated with fellow enthusiasts. This approach helped him build a dedicated audience eager for an authentic voice that went beyond typical marketing fluff. Armstrong's willingness to challenge conventional automotive narratives made him stand out early in his career. Crucially, Armstrong's breakthrough came at a time when social media and video content were reshaping how automotive news was consumed. His ability to leverage these channels allowed him to reach a broader audience faster than traditional outlets. This position gave him unprecedented access and influence in shaping automotive discussions online. By intertwining expert knowledge with relatable storytelling, Armstrong avoided the pitfalls faced by many newcomers who rely too heavily on technical jargon or celebrity personalities. His content felt accessible but insightful, appealing both to casual viewers and seasoned gearheads. This dual appeal accelerated his rise in prominence. These early successes, however, were not without their challenges. Armstrong had to navigate a landscape dominated by established journalists and long-standing industry connections. His fresh voice sometimes ruffled feathers, especially among traditionalists who distrusted new media influences. Still, Armstrong's drive and adaptability fueled his persistence, leading to collaborations with automotive brands and media organizations. These opportunities provided credibility and expanded his reach beyond grassroots platforms. His early rise was marked by a blend of ambition and genuine expertise that few could match. Soon, Armstrong's growing profile made him a recognizable figure at automotive events, launching a new phase of his career. Invitations to exclusive launches and test drives solidified his reputation as an emerging influencer in the sector. What started as a passion project was transforming into a professional pursuit. Yet, this breakthrough phase laid the groundwork for more complex dynamics to unfold, signaling that Armstrong's journey was far from a simple ascent. Armstrong's expanding role within the industry offers insight into how his influence grew and set the stage for both achievement and controversy. Influential industry role. As Matt Armstrong's presence grew, so did his influence within the automotive media ecosystem. He transitioned from enthusiastic commentator to a key figure whose opinions could sway public perception and even market interest. His reviews and insights began to be seen as vital sources for both consumers and industry insiders. Armstrong's ability to articulate trends and spot emerging technologies distinguished him from many peers. This foresight earned him invitations to testing unreleased vehicles and engaging directly with manufacturers. The access provided unparalleled insights that further enhanced his authority and appeal. His influence was not limited to traditional reviews. Armstrong curated comprehensive content that incorporated technical analysis, historical context, and market implications, offering a 360-degree view of the automotive world. This holistic approach helped his followers understand cars not just as machines, but as cultural symbols and technological milestones. A crucial element of Armstrong's expanding role was his skill in engaging diverse audiences. He effectively communicated complex subjects in an approachable manner without sacrificing depth. This ability to bridge various segments of the automotive community, from casual enthusiasts to engineers, expanded his footprint. In addition, Armstrong played a role in shaping online automotive discourse, kinda setting the tone for debate or framing the whole story around new releases, which people noticed. His viewpoints could spark discussions that rolled out across forums, social media platforms, and even those industry roundtables. That kind of reach really underlined how he held himself as a thought leader. Then, as his visibility kept climbing, it also pulled in the interest of major brands that were looking for collaborations. Those deals varied from sponsored content to consulting work, so the boundaries between independent critique and brand advocacy got a little fuzzy, honestly. Figuring out how to walk that line became a defining feature of his professional identity, or however you want to call it. During this stretch, Armstrong stayed pretty consistent in style, leaning on authenticity and insight that helped him keep loyalty from his audience even while commercial pull got stronger. He managed to stay grounded while still having impact, and that added to his credibility. Still, with that influence came extra attention, more scrutiny. As Armstrong's role intensified, so did the headaches tied to impartiality and how the public viewed him, which hinted at the controversies that would show up later. Understanding the milestones that cemented Armstrong's reputation helps frame the accomplishments that made him a respected figure in automotive media. Notable achievements. Matt Armstrong's career is marked by several key achievements that solidified his standing in the automotive community. Among these is his prolific output of in-depth vehicle reviews that combine technical expertise with engaging storytelling. His assessments have become reference points for many enthusiasts and industry professionals alike. One of Armstrong's notable accomplishments is his role in breaking exclusive news and first-look content. Securing early access to new models and industry developments enhanced his credibility and drew significant attention to his platforms. These exclusives helped distinguish him from other commentators who lacked such privileged access. Armstrong's influence also extends to his contributions in shaping public dialogue around automotive innovation. He has been a vocal advocate for the integration of new technologies like electrification and advanced driver assistance systems, often contextualizing them within broader automotive trends. This thought leadership has earned him respect beyond typical reviewer circles. Recognition from peers and industry bodies further underscores his achievements. Armstrong has been invited to speak at automotive conferences and featured in media collaborations that highlight his insights. Such acknowledgments reflect his transition from enthusiast to authoritative voice. His impact is also kind of clear in the audience metrics. You can see millions of followers across various channels engaging with his content on a regular basis. That kind of big community, it really does show both reach and resonance, even if you squint a little. It's basically a nudge, a quiet testament to how well he communicates. A particularly notable achievement is his ability to stay consistent and keep the quality steady across all kinds of content formats, from technical deep dives to those more casual, personality-driven bits. That flexibility has expanded his appeal, but somehow it still doesn't water down his core expertise, at least not in any obvious way. Then there are Armstrong's collaborations with automotive brands. Some people label them controversial, but they have also produced innovative content that sort of bridges marketing with real critique. Through those partnerships, he gets access to rare experiences and resources, which in turn enriches what he puts out. Put all of that together, and it paints a picture of someone who has managed the tricky overlap between passion, media, and commerce. Still, the same visibility that made those wins possible also opened up the door to problems, and those challenges would end up testing his career in pretty unexpected manners. As Armstrong's successes mounted, the controversies that followed began to shift the narrative surrounding his rise. Emerging controversies. As Matt Armstrong's profile grew, so too did the scrutiny that comes with prominence. While many admired his expertise and outspoken style, some began to question aspects of his approach, sparking debates within the automotive community. The initial controversies often revolved around perceptions of bias, especially as Armstrong's collaborations with car manufacturers became more frequent. This blurred the lines between impartial journalism and brand advocacy, raising concerns about his objectivity. Criticism also emerged around the tone and style of Armstrong's commentary. Some viewers and peers felt that his blunt delivery occasionally bordered on dismissive or provocative, which at times alienated parts of his audience. This approach, while appealing to those who valued candid opinions, sowed division among followers who expected more measured discourse. These tensions highlighted the challenges of balancing authenticity with broad appeal in today's polarized media landscape. Questions about the accuracy of some of Armstrong's claims surfaced as well. In a fast-moving industry, even minor errors can be amplified, and his high-volume content sometimes invited fact-checking and public corrections. Critics used these moments to question his reliability, though supporters often defended his transparency and responsiveness to feedback. This underscored the delicate trust relationship between a commentator and their audience. Legal and ethical issues also entered the conversation at times. Allegations around disclosure practices for sponsored content put Armstrong under further scrutiny. The industry's evolving standards on transparency meant influencers needed to navigate new rules carefully, and missteps could damage reputations quickly. While no formal actions made headlines, the shadow of these concerns lingered. Social media somehow managed to amplify both applause and criticism, kind of in equal measure. Armstrong's every statement was picked apart, and sometimes that turned into rough online back and forth. Heated exchanges that kept going. With this constant spotlight going on, it became hard for him to keep control of his own narrative. Critics would mobilize fast to challenge him, and it wasn't always subtle. All of that pressure also tested Armstrong's ability to manage public perception, especially with controversies that never really paused. Meanwhile, behind the curtain, tensions between Armstrong and a few of his media peers kept building. Rivalries got stronger as views moved in different directions on what exactly counts as fairness, professionalism, and influence in automotive journalism. At times, those disagreements leaked into public spaces, so the controversy broadened beyond just fans and followers. Still, Armstrong carried on, and he often answered disputes directly, with a blend of defiance and quiet reconsideration. That honesty earned him real respect among supporters, but it didn't always calm the backlash. The controversies basically became a hallmark of his public identity, meaning his rise would never be smooth or free of turbulence. And in the end, these growing controversies made one thing clearer. Armstrong's expanding reach came with added dangers, plus more layered complexities. As the public and the industry assessed his actions, reactions ranged from unwavering support to blunt critique, and that really set the tone for how he would be seen from there. Looking ahead, the lasting impact of these controversies will likely depend less on the disputes themselves and more on how Armstrong responds over time. Consistent transparency, thoughtful reflection, and a willingness to adapt could ultimately determine whether his legacy is defined by conflict, resilience, or meaningful influence across automotive media. Navigating this mix of acclaim and criticism naturally influenced how both fans and experts responded to Armstrong's evolving career. Public and industry reactions. The automotive community's reaction to Matt Armstrong's controversies has been as varied as his career itself. Among fans, there was a noticeable split between loyal followers who valued his boldness and newcomers or casual viewers who sometimes found his tone off-putting. This polarization highlighted how personality-driven media can create passionate but divided audiences. Industry insiders often expressed a more guarded stance. Some respected Armstrong's expertise and ability to connect with audiences, viewing him as a necessary voice in an evolving media landscape. Others questioned whether his close ties with manufacturers compromised journalistic integrity, emphasizing the need for clear boundaries to maintain trust within the sector. Brands, meanwhile, appeared to take a pragmatic approach. Armstrong's large and engaged following made him an attractive partner, even as some within companies remained wary of the controversies surrounding him. This relationship dynamic reflected a broader trend where marketing value sometimes outweighed concerns about potential reputational risks. Critical voices in the media examined Armstrong's influence through a lens of accountability. Commentators and fellow journalists debated the ethical challenges posed by influencer brand partnerships, using Armstrong's case as a touchpoint. These discussions helped catalyze conversations about standards and transparency in automotive reporting. For fans defending Armstrong, the whole deal with controversies kind of kept coming back. And somehow, it always felt like it matched their idea that he is an unfiltered truth-teller. Like always, pushing past the neat little rules, they'd say he's willing to stare at uncomfortable subjects and bring up industry problems that others only mention in softer terms. Sure, there were occasional missteps, but their logic was that those didn't outweigh what he was doing overall. That loyalty then made a small army of advocates who seemed ready to push back at basically any critique, no matter how small. Still, detractors read the same controversies in a different way. To them, it wasn't just honest conflict, it was evidence of recklessness, and also a slow but steady hit to his credibility. They worried that Armstrong's style, plus the alliances he kept near him, made it harder to expect the kind of objective scrutiny you'd hope for from someone who has that much reach. In their view, if influence just keeps growing without enough accountability, then it can end up weakening the entire automotive journalism space. And honestly, social media became this central gear in it all. It acted like a battleground, and also a megaphone at the same time. Fans used the platforms to rally and to push his content out further, while critics used the very same space to organize rebuttals and fact-checking waves. That back and forth didn't just raise his profile, it also made every argument sharper, louder, and harder to let go. In the end, the reactions from all directions pointed to a media world changing fast, where celebrity, money, and content basically collide without warning. Armstrong's situation then started to feel like a symbol of the bigger tug-of-war inside modern automotive media, like the constant struggle between authenticity, influence, and trust, all at once. As that debate continues, Armstrong's reputation will probably remain shaped by both the loyalty he inspires and the scrutiny he attracts. Whether he strengthens trust or deepens the divide depends on how clearly he handles criticism, partnerships, and responsibility, while continuing to hold attention in an increasingly crowded media landscape. The evolving landscape of praise and criticism that Armstrong navigates today sets a complex scene for what lies ahead in his career. Current status and outlook. Today, Matt Armstrong remains a significant presence in the automotive media landscape, embodying both the potential and pitfalls of modern influencer-driven journalism. His platforms continue to attract millions of viewers who appreciate his blend of technical insight and candid opinions. Despite the controversies, Armstrong's ability to captivate audiences underscores his enduring relevance in a rapidly shifting industry. Armstrong has also demonstrated an adaptability that keeps him aligned with evolving trends, from embracing electric vehicle technologies to addressing changing consumer attitudes. He stays current with the broader transformations shaping automotive culture. This responsiveness suggests a willingness to grow beyond early controversies and contribute meaningfully to future conversations. However, Armstrong's path forward is not without hurdles. Maintaining credibility while managing brand partnerships remains a delicate balancing act. The skepticism from parts of the community requires ongoing transparency and careful navigation of potential conflicts of interest, challenges that influence the wider influencer ecosystem. In addition, Armstrong faces the typical challenges of sustaining engagement over the long term. Audiences today expect continual innovation and fresh perspectives, making consistent creativity essential. Armstrong's track record in content diversification and deep dives into technical topics positions him well to meet these demands, but the pressure is constant. The automotive industry itself is moving faster than ever, with new technologies and regulatory shifts, reshaping what enthusiasts and professionals end up valuing. Armstrong's continued success will probably hinge on how well he swallows those changes into his content, and his reasoning too. I mean, the kind of analysis people actually follow. In that sense, he can stay a bridge between more classic automotive ideals and whatever comes next, even when the landscape looks kinda unfamiliar. On the professional side of things, Armstrong's relationships with brands and media outlets are likely the real lever. Partnerships that still respect journalistic integrity, while also giving that slightly extra kind of exclusive access, can help build trust over time. If he navigates that balance, Armstrong may not just endure the industry's transformation, but genuinely grow in it. Public opinion stays mixed, but it's still a crucial piece of his career. Loyal fans are solid support, of course, but his wider reach depends on addressing earlier criticisms in a constructive manner. He also needs to keep showing consistent ethical standards, not just occasionally. The conversation about influencer responsibility keeps evolving, so people will be watching how he acts and not only what he says. Ultimately, Matt Armstrong's current standing is kind of a mirror of his achievements, along with the controversies that keep surfacing around him. His next chapter will depend on how smoothly he adapts to industry changes, audience expectations, and the constant pull toward transparency in automotive media. If that momentum continues, Armstrong's influence could extend far beyond individual reviews or viral moments. His approach may help shape how future automotive creators balance entertainment, technical expertise, and accountability, leaving a lasting impact on an industry that increasingly values authenticity alongside innovation. Matt Armstrong's life is one of passion, influence, and complexity, a journey that challenges how we think about modern automotive journalism. His rise, achievements, and controversies together paint a picture of an evolving media figure navigating a changing landscape. If you found this exploration insightful, please like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of cars and culture.